Title of the story: The Old Railway Station. The clock at the old railway station had been broken for as long as anyone could remember. Its hands were frozen at 6:43. People said it stopped on the day the last train passed through the town of Kadirpur. After that, the tracks rusted, the benches cracked, and the station became a shelter for silence. Still, the clock remained, watching, waiting, remembering something no one else could. Every evening, just before sunset, Ibrahim came to sit beneath it. He never checked the time, he didn't need to. Time had stopped meaning much to him years ago. Ibrahim was a man of careful habits. He wore the same grey coat regardless of the season, polished the same worn shoes every morning, and carried a leather notebook he never wrote in. The townspeople assumed he was lonely, but loneliness wasn't what brought him here. It was guilt, and a question he could never answer. There had been a choice once, a simple one, or so it had seemed at that time. Years ago, Ibrahim had stood on this same platform beside his younger sister Alia, holding two train tickets. One would take him away to a new job, a new city, a future he had worked his whole life for. The other would take her to a hospital 2 towns away, where doctors waited with answers he couldn't afford. I will come with you later, he had promised her, avoiding her eyes. Just go, I will join you tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. The train doors closed, the whistle below, and Alia waved, smiled bravely, believing him. That night, a storm destroyed part of the tracks. The hospital called the next morning. Ibrahim never took another train again. On one quiet evening, as the sky bleed orange into purple, Ibrahim noticed was someone sitting beside him. That alone was strange. No one came to the station anymore. The man was old, older than Ibrahim. Yet his eyes were unsettlingly alert. He looked up at the frozen clock. Funny thing, time, the stranger said. It only stops when we wish it would go back. Ibrahim stiffened. I didn't wish for anything. The man smiled gently. No one ever admits that part. They sat in silence until the wind carried dust across the platform. Then the stranger asked, if you were given one moment back, would you change it? Ibrahim's throat tightened. Yes, he whispered, without hesitation. The stranger stood, walked towards the edge of the platform, and said something that made Ibrahim's heart stop. Then you should board the next train. There is no next train, Ibrahim said sharply. The tracks were dead, the station abandoned. The stranger turned. There is one, he said, but It only comes for those who are willing to accept the cost. Before Ibrahim could ask what that meant, the ground trembled. A distant sound echoed through the air, a whistle. From the far end of the tracks, a train emerged, silent, dark, unreal. No headlights, no markings, just motion. The clock above them shuddered. Its hands moved. For the first time in decades, time advanced. 6:44. Ibrahim's chest burned. What is this? He asked. A moment, the stranger replied. Borrowed, not owned. The doors opened. Inside the train, the air felt heavy with memories, not just Ibrahim's, but countless others. Faces flickered in the windows like reflections of regret. You can go back, the stranger said, not to fix everything, only to choose differently once. And the cost? Ibrahim asked. The stranger's voice softened. You won't return. The train jolted, the word blurred, and suddenly Ibrahim was standing on the same platform, years younger, heart full of ambition, tickets in his hand. Alia stood beside him, alive, smiling, trusting. He felt the weight of the future pressing against his chest. This time he looked at her properly. He saw the fear she tried to hide, the hope she placed in him, the love he had taken for granted. He tore his own ticket in half. I am coming with you, he said. Her eyes filled with tears. The train doors opened. As they stepped inside together, Ibrahim felt something strange. Not joy, not relief, but peace. The train moved. The moment dissolved. The old railway station returned, empty, still. The clock showed 6:43 again. The bench where Ibrahim once sat was vacant. The stranger stood alone beneath the clock. A child walked past him and asked, Mister, why does the clock not work? The stranger smiled sadly. It works, he said. It just finished its purpose. Far away in a hospital room, filled with warmth, light, Alia sat beside a window, holding her brother's notebook. The leather was worn, the pages were empty. But for the first time, Ibrahim was exactly where he was meant to be, not in memory, not in regret, but in the quiet sacrifice that never asks to be remembered. And somewhere between seconds, time moved on. Because love finally chose presence over promise. Some moments don't ask to be fixed, they ask to be honored. Time does not punish us for our choices, we do. And sometimes the most powerful way to move forward is to stay, even if the world never knows your name again.